Welcome back everybody to another Python tutorial. In today's video, we are going to be seeing how to create an exe file from a Python script. So if you've been watching any of my videos that were related to the Win32com library, so the library that allows us to interact and manipulate COM objects on Windows, then this is probably going to be a very useful video for you because what we're basically going to be covering is how to create a method for allowing you to distribute your code to somebody who might not have Python installed on their system. And so that's really the benefit of this whole process is you can write your code, do whatever you need to do, but when it comes to actually distributing your code, let's be realistic. Not everyone you're going to send it to is going to have a programming background, so you can't always necessarily ensure that they're going to know how to, edit code or just do things along that nature in order to make sure the script runs as you were intending it to. So this way, they basically just have to click an icon and then the script runs everything for them. So it's very useful and it's very helpful for those of us who might not have Python installed on our system. We can just simply put an exe file out there and we are good to go. So a couple things we need to do. We're going to first have to install a library. We're going to have to set an environment path variable, and then we'll go through and see the different ways that we can basically, create this exe file because there are multiple ways. So right now in my little folder, I do have a Python script and I have an icon file. So if I just open this up with Notepad, it's nothing fancy. This code is doing really nothing fancy. It's just opening up the PowerPoint application. It's making it visible. It's adding a presentation to that application. And then it adds a single slide to the presentation. So a very basic script. And we're going to create this and turn it into a exe file. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to open up your Anaconda prompt. Pop up like this. And then it's going to be pip install PyInstaller. And so you do this. It's going to install the library for you. I've already previously installed it and then I've uninstalled it. So mine might go a little bit faster than maybe what you guys are doing. But for the most part, it's going to go through. It's going to collect all the dependencies and then it's going to install those dependencies for you. And so you can see here, it's telling me right now that most of my requirements have already been satisfied. The tricky part, unfortunately, what we'll see in a second is that it's going to install it in sometimes different locations. So on my system, on my personal system, it installed it. If I go back here, so if I go to users and I go to Alex and then I go to Anaconda 3, it put it in the scripts folder inside my Anaconda 3 folder. And if you go down, you scroll and you scroll and you scroll, and you go to P, and then you'll see it right here. So it is an exe file. And so what this means is that we can basically use this as an exe file in itself, where we can then grab it and then run its process. Now, here's the problem. If I want to use this exe file, I technically have to provide the path in my command prompt. That's not really useful. I rather just be able to type a keyword like PyInstaller, and then my system knows where to look for that particular exe file. So that's where it comes into play of adding an environment variable. So that's what we're going to do next. I do want to say one thing. So again, on my personal system, it did install it in Anaconda 3 under scripts. On my work computer, that was not the case. This one was a little bit different. It went to app data. It went to roaming, and then it went to Python, and then it put it in the Python 3.7 scripts folder. So you might have to look around first before you actually find where it placed it. But so far I've seen it put here and then one other one. And so the first thing you got to ask is, A, what version of Python do you have? Because that's naturally going to be one of the first places you want to look. But it really just depends. I can't really say why it chose one over the other. I did Anaconda on both of them, but for whatever reason on my work computer, it put it in Python 37. So not really sure about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I go to my environment variables, I am going to grab this path. And where is it? There it is. So I right click down to properties. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to go to security, and I just need this little guy right here. And so I'm just going to copy that. I can go to my search bar, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go environment variables, and then naturally this is the first one that usually pops up. You go to environment variables. You're going to go down here to the second portion. You're going to go to path and then do edit. And then from here, you're going to say new, and then you just paste it in just like that. And so what this is going to allow us to do is now it's as an environment variable. So I press OK. I press OK. I like to usually just close that out. And then normally what I will do is I will close my Anaconda prompt, and then I'll reopen it. And then I just do PyInstaller. And so if you get this little thing right down here, it means you installed it successfully, and 2, you set the environment path variable correctly as well. So if you're getting this as a pop-up after you type PyInstaller, it means you installed it correctly, and it also means that you set your environment variable correctly as well. So let's go through and make our exe file. So since I'm already here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change directory. So I'll do cd desktop, and then I have a file, not a file, a folder called compile. And so that will take me to this folder, because you do need to be in the folder where the script that you want to convert to an exe file is. You can't just, well, technically you don't have to, but well, actually, no, you do have to. So be in the folder where you actually have this script, because it's going to create a lot of different folders and files, and you need to make sure that it can reference the script in the right spot. So from here, it's really simple. So normally you would just do PyInstaller, and then you get the path. And so what I like to do is just, again, right click, go to security. I like to copy my path just like that. Keep in mind, there is sometimes a bug when copying it from there. You'll see this little like boxed character with a question mark in it. You do need to copy it again, because the command prompt will not understand what that character is. It's a bug for whatever reason. When you try to copy a file path from the properties window, it freaks out. So all it is PyInstaller, and since we're actually already in there, we don't technically need it, but we can actually just, we'll just do this. We'll go backwards. Sometimes if it's not, exactly in there, I do like that, but I'll just do open PowerPoint.py. I mean, either way, it was fine for the most part, but I like to do this. If you're already in there, why do it, more text if you don't have to, right? So it's going through all this stuff, and what you're going to see right behind us is it's actually making a bunch of folders and stuff like that. For the most part, you really don't need to worry about that. What you just need to do, I'm going to go back into it. If you go to distribution, you go to open PowerPoint, and you scroll down a little bit, you are going to see this open PowerPoint exe. So this is the exe file. And so if I double click that, it's going to open up this little command prompt. And then you can see that it did that Python script. So it created a new application, it created a new presentation in the application, and then it created a new slide. So again, a very basic script, but it's demonstrating that you can now leverage this exe file to run your code. So I'm going to close this out. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to delete all this fun stuff, because there are a couple things, there's different things we can define about this particular exe file. So I actually have a window open. There's all these options. And so, for example, you can have, these are just more like general options. But if you go down here, you can do things like create a one file bundle executable. You can also do things like add an icon. So you can add an icon down here if we do the I. There's W for windowed. And so with this one, you can actually have it where when you run the exe, the command prompt will not open. So you won't see that console, which is, sometimes that's nice, because, sometimes people see a console and they freak out and they're like, oh my God, what's it doing to my computer? So we'll just run through some of these options. So for example, if I want to do PyInstaller, I don't want it to open the console, then it would just look something like this. Open PowerPoint, .py. So this one is saying do not basically create an exe that will not open the console. And so it's going to go through the same exact process again. It's going to create all those folders and all this extra stuff. And you're like, oh, lots of stuff, right? And we'll see that it's basically the same exact stuff. It's just going to do a little bit different things. That's all. So if I scroll down again, so I just clicked it. Notice how there is no console that popped up, but it still ran the script just like it did before. We're just now avoiding the whole having the console open up for us, which again, sometimes, like I said, that makes sense. Some people freak out when they see a console and they're like, oh my God, something bad's happening. Okay, so we've done that. Let's do we'll actually just do, I think, 2 more examples. We'll just do a bundled one next. So again, PyInstaller. In this case, I want, what is it? I think it's one file. It's capital F, I believe. Where is it? There's a lot of options. Okay, F1 file. Yeah. Okay. We'll just do one file and then open PowerPoint.py. This one, I kind of prefer this one just because I kind of like less files if there's less to deal with. And so you'll see that inside the distribution folder. Yeah, it was there. I went a little bit quickly. But you can see it basically took out all the other junk, and now it's just this one exe file. And again, this is sometimes nice. We don't need all that extra junk sometime. Notice that because I did not specify W, it is still now doing the console, which again, I kind of don't like that either, but we'll fix that. Okay, so let's do that. What we're going to do is we're going to do one final thing, which is we're going to add an icon to our exe file. So we're not going to let it put the default one. We're going to tell it what icon to use. So again, it's PyInstaller. In this case, I don't want the console to appear. I do want one file, and I'm going to specify an icon. And I like to put it in strings, especially if there's spaces and things like that. You kind of just have to play around. What you do need to know is that they do have to be an ICO file type. That is the only thing that you can pass through. Now, technically, there's all sorts of converters online because I didn't know how to do it on my system, so I just looked online for a converter. So I took an Adobe Illustrator file, and then I just passed it through a converter, and it was pretty much good to go. So really, all you do is you specify I for icon, and then you pass through the path to that particular icon. That's really all you do. And then again, the final thing is the Python script that you want to convert into an exe. And so if we run this, what happened? PyInstaller, W. Oh, you know what I think I may have done? Did I not? We'll do this, and then we'll do I, and then we'll do open PowerPoint.py. Hopefully that does it. Okay, that I must have typed something wrong. I mean, F and everything does exactly the same, so it should still come out with just a single exe file. Okay, it's doing all of its fun stuff. So it's kind of misleading. So for whatever reason, when it puts it in the folder, it still looks like it's the old file. But if you just actually cut it and then say like you were going to paste it here on your thing, now it changes. Don't ask why. I don't know what it is. It must be some kind of bug. I was kind of confused too when I saw them, like, it doesn't look like the icon's being set to it. So what's wrong? For whatever reason, it's a bug. If you just actually physically cut it and then you put it in a different location, then the icon pops up for whatever reason. So now, if I still run it, you'll see it does exactly what it was going to do before. So still the same thing. It's still doing the same functionality and things like that. And so, just as one note, because some people might have been confused, like, hey, you did capital F up here. Capital F or dash dash one file is pretty much exactly the same parameter. So it's multiple ways to do the same thing. Again, if you read the documentation, you'll see it's right here. And then you can again see here it's like one folder bundle, one file bundle. So there's different things you can do. It's really up to you how you want to do it. People like doing it differently, but I'll put a link to obviously this documentation in the description. But that way, you guys can put it however you want. But I think that's kind of the core components. Like, okay, we can do an icon. We can specify whether it's windowed or not windowed. All sorts of kind of fun stuff. So pretty cool. I know when I found this out, I was like, oh, this is neat. And so naturally, you can start taking some of your code and sharing it. Exciting stuff. So if you have any questions, please make sure to put them down in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you. And then also, if you could, please make sure to like the video. We always appreciate the support. And obviously, if you're not already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you get regular updates as we release new videos. I apologize for lagging a little bit on the videos recently, but I am in the process of getting a home, and that has been a interesting process to say the least. It's a lot of paperwork, and unfortunately, a lot of my afternoons and evenings have been either going places or trying to get appointments set. So I really haven't had a lot of time to dedicate to the videos, but I am going to try to throw a couple out there for at least the next like week or two. And then after that, things should kind of return more to a regular pace. So thanks again for watching, everybody. We will see you in the next video.